Hello and welcome to my channel. I plan today on getting the freezers sorted out. They need sorting out because they've got a lot of last year's crops in them and I need to make sure that they don't go to waste. Hopefully we'll get that done and something made out of one of the items that we find in the freezer. As you can see behind me, my tomatoes are starting to grow quite well too. Won't be long before they need potting up. We'll also have a quick look at the potatoes and see how they're getting on while they're chitting. You're supposed to chit to shorten the growing time, but I'm not sure that actually works. It's really a holding position for planting around Easter because our weather tends to be a bit worse for wear and chance of frosts. Oh, look at the beautiful colours. This is the freezer setup in my utility room. We have a chest freezer and a fridge freezer. This is my main black freezer here. In this drawer I've got a lot of apple puree. In fact, it's full of it, and I use apple puree for various cakes such as courgette and chocolate cake. I use it in fruit leather, pack lunches with honey, and sometimes in a crumble. Okay, in the chest freezer here we've got whole food plant-based gravy. I discovered that bought mango chutney doesn't freeze, by the way, it just makes it thicker. And spinach put in various curries from the allotment, and there's various berries in here. Black currants that I use in jam, raspberries on waffles, especially for school lunches, and blackberries I use in jam and cordial. Tend to make curries in here too. Freeze half of them, and then chilli and jam jars for lunches. There's pumpkin puree, sourdough bread, and you notice the peas, they go in various recipes, but also I tend to make them into so the mushy peas have, obviously you cook the peas and drain them, splash of milk, some red onion and mint from the garden and blitz, and it's delicious. The mange too tend to put in stir fries as a side, and the plums are using crumble and jam. So looks like we need to defrost it here, but yeah, I'll do that when it's emptier. Oh look, a spare tomato. The white beans I tend to use in a whole food plant-based sausage and creamy sauces and add to soups and stews. And the coriander, falafel's a favourite for that. And the passata, curries and ratatouille. I listed them off so I can cross them off once I've used. I don't do it all year because I tend to get in a bit of a knot. I lost the footage of emptying and arranging, so I'm just going to show you the result. There goes a before and after. The lentils, by the way, I tend to buy in bulk, cook as a load and freeze for a recipe later. I'm using gloves to stop me from getting too cold. Okay, in the bottom drawer I can see that we've got some pitters. I used to make those, but they take too long for the quantity that I need. So I pick what suits our needs best on the time that it takes and the food that we need to have. There's cakes and biscuits in here that I use for packed lunches. And I tend to make waffles and then I freeze them for packed lunches later, but I do it in bulk so I've got plenty. There's some courgettes, so I'll probably do some ratatouille there. Or I could roast some other veg and have it with couscous and tofu for lunch. There's some gravy blocks in here, portions for one, and some bananas sliced, which I could make into nice cream or banana bread. The top drawer, I've got lunches and dinners in. They're homemade, frozen into portions such as chili, ratatouille, chana saag, spag bowl. It's really good for when you can't be bothered or when you're not feeling very well. And the chickpeas in the top, they are bought bulk dried, and then I cook them and freeze them, and then much easier to use and a lot cheaper. The labels in here are essential. Let's move these things from the wrong place, black currants and the extra apple puree. Oh, and here's my chosen ingredients to take to the kitchen. Red currants will make jam, spinach and chickpeas for Chana Saag, the chia jam for porridge, and for lunch I'll have couscous and chilli from the freezer. And here's my lunch, bit of chilli with some couscous, and I can tell you it was delicious. I really enjoyed it, and the lack of effort I had to put into making it. Right, here's making the Chana Saag. This is for tea from the freezer. I've got 2 boxes of chickpeas, or you can use 2 cans, and spinach from the allotment. I'm using frozen onion today. You can use fresh, about 1 onion should suffice, but I'm going for easy today and emptying a bit of the freezer out to give me some more space. Got some frozen garlic. I whizzed that up and froze it so that I buy it fresh, but sort it out so that it lasts longer. And that's frozen ginger, same thing. I'm going to use approximately 2 teaspoons of bouillon, but you could use a stock cube. That's gone in there. A tin of chopped tomatoes. Any chopped tomatoes will do. And if you had any frozen tomatoes, you could obviously use those in place. But apart from that one singular one in the freezer, I haven't got any. Rinse out the can. That makes sure we use everything up that was in it, less waste, and also your can's pre-washed so it can go straight into the recycling. So I'm going to weigh out 150 grams of red split lentils. Doesn't have to be exact, and then I'm going to set them aside because I'm doing this a little bit before tea and I don't want them to stick. You want a really good squeeze of tomato puree. I guess that would be approximately 2 tablespoons. And then I want a couple of carrots, and I'm going to make sure that they're all chopped up. And you can just chop them to your desired size. I don't know whether you noticed, but the measurements are very flexible. You can just do everything to taste really. If you've only got 1 carrot left, just do 1 carrot. If you've got more spinach, put more spinach in. It's just all lovely and tasty. Just do it to what you like. Get them put in the pan. Okay, spices next. So I'm going to need some garam masala and some madras curry powder. Again, generally flexible. I'm going to use the madras curry powder, 2 teaspoons worth, and you notice I like to heap them. Again, that's up to you to taste. So, and the garam masala, that's a couple of teaspoons as well, which again I've heaped. I like plenty of flavour. I'm adding approximately 400 millilitres of water, and then in go the rinsed lentils, but do this when you're ready to cook. If you wanted to prep and leave it, you should have left it just before we put the lentils in. Okay, just mixing here, some defrosting has occurred. We'll finish this with heat. Oh, let's get some rice on. I'm using an instant pot here, and I've got 3 cups, and it's equal rice to water. Sprinkle of garam masala, and then we'll add a sprinkle of turmeric. Makes the rice a lovely colour, and apparently it's supposed to be good for you. Pinch of salt and some pepper. Again, up to your tastes. And I've got the water, as I say, it's equal to the amount of rice. So however many cups of rice you put in, you put the water in. Give it a good stir, and then make sure that the rice is submerged, because that's how Instant Pot works. Obviously you could do this in a pan. So home meal goes on for 24 minutes with a 10 minutes natural release afterwards, and then I give it a full release and serve it. Yum. enough for tea for my family, 2 lunches and some to freeze. Right, I'm going to weigh out the red currants here for jam, but the video is getting rather long. Another video for jam will come up shortly because I just can't fit it in this one. I'm going to leave the berries to defrost overnight in the fridge so that I'm ready to do the jam, but I didn't think it would be very good if I made this video far too long, so look out for the next video with red currant jam in it. Don't they look beautiful? So red and pink, so shiny. Lovely. If you want, you can tell me about the crops that you're getting out of your freezer and using up this year and what you're making them into. I'd be really interested. You just tell me in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed watching. I certainly enjoyed making all the things and all the lovely, tasty, delicious stuff for my family. See you next time.